Hey everybody, thanks for playing World of Tanks, and thanks for checking out this World of Tanks video. This is Widepark. I'm in the Tier 5 Swedish medium Strv M42. The tech tree tank. Working on grinding up that new medium line eventually. For now I'm on the Tier 5 tank. And let's see, what is this? This is an encounter match. The focus of this one is actually going to be a concept that's been kind of coming up for me here lately. I've been noticing it quite a bit, and I think that it's tending to ring true, tending to come out true. Maybe not all the time, but I think the vast majority of the time it's the case that it seems like the team that's aggressive first, most aggressive first, turns out to be the team that does not win the match. So another way of putting that is the team that pushes second is the team that wins. We have a bunch of guys at about E1, and then a few mediums and a heavy down around down around H through K1. Down there, way down the southwest corner, and then a few guys elsewhere. Looks like we have a whole bunch of those guys pushed over into like the C1 space up there. Generally speaking, though, the enemy team was the team that pushed forward farthest, fastest. So let's see what happens here. So I was up there kind of on the ridge line fighting those heavies, shooting at those heavies at least that were pushing over that top central ridge with the railroad track on it. And then I'm noticing the medium and the destroyer over there to the southeast corner. They won that flank, and so basically I'm just kind of coming around, kind of following them around, so that basically I'm fighting rather than fighting them and the heavies pushing over that central ridge, the railroad track, rather than fighting both of those sets of vehicles, I kind of came around with them so that I'm only fighting that destroyer and that medium, and not the vehicles pushing over the central ridge line. Alright, so that destroyer did get a shot at me. I missed the destroyer. And I'm noticing that we have a medium at like J6 there, just kind of hanging out. And you know, there's just that destroyer over there. Basically, if the us three mediums, or even two of the three mediums, were to come at that destroyer simultaneously, that destroyer wouldn't really have a chance. As it is, if we just kind of sit back, we can let that destroyer pick us apart. He's obviously pretty decent with that vehicle. And there we go. And the reason why I wasn't really focused on pushing into that destroyer. I was kind of available in case that destroyer gave me a shot, but I wasn't focused on pushing into that destroyer in case I had an enemy vehicle push over that central ridge around the capture point. In case I had an enemy vehicle pushing over that central ridge around the capture point, basically, you know, putting me in like a pincer style attack or whatever, basically having like one of those heavies, for example, shoot at me while that enemy destroyer also had shots at me. I didn't want to deal with that, so basically I hung back and hoped that the other two guys would get after that destroyer, so that I didn't have to put myself between those heavies and that destroyer in case the heavies pushed over like that one did right there. I left myself in a position to, be able to kind of shoot at or fight off any of the enemy heavies that did push over that central ridge. And as you can see, we are now up 12 enemies destroyed to their 9. And we have a strong upper hand, and it looks like we might be able to come out on top of this one. I kind of came back and played this final stretch a little bit conservatively there, in case that enemy heavy, that 3001H, in case that guy pushed over the central ridge, I'd left myself in a position to be able to fight him off or take him out if he decided to go after our arty. So this is a short, simple match here, you know, showing that the red team seemed to be the first team, by and large, to push forward the fastest. They were certainly in that capture circle the fastest. They were also the team that tended to be the most aggressive, pushing over that central ridge line, especially throughout most of the map. And our team, by comparison, tended to be much more measured, much more controlled. We had a massive squadron of guys, a large number of guys stick together very well in the far west. They waited for the right time and then charged up over that ridge line together in a very unified way, it seemed like to me. It certainly looked like it, and it certainly seemed pretty effective over there. And then on the east side of the map, you know, they had that single medium and that single destroyer, two of their vehicles, it seemed like, kind of moving down south pretty aggressively on their own. And we had two or three, depending on how you look at it, two or three medium tanks working together fairly well, kind of fighting those two vehicles off, again, in a pretty measured way. The three of us over there compared to those two enemy vehicles charging down in a more haphazard way than our guys. Anyway, thanks for checking out this World of Tanks video, and thanks for playing World of Tanks.